Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Who will lead the National Football League in passing in 2021? And your options are Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or Josh Allen. Those are the four that we all came up with. And Mahomes is leading on both Twitter and Facebook. So I think we got the right one, guys. The right four, anyways. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. By the way, I went and looked up the odds. Let me back up. Who do you think led the NFL in passing last year? You would, for $1,000, you wouldn't get it. You can take that off. It was Deshaun Watson, okay?
Yeah.
And he's not even going to start this year. What an offseason for one Deshaun Watson.
I know. Matt Ryan was pretty high, but he doesn't have Julio Jones. He's not leading the league in passing.
Here are the odds.
Yeah.
From bettingpros.com. Number one, Patrick Mahomes, projected to lead the National Football League in passing. Number two, Dakota Prescott of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. But I don't think he's going to stay healthy, just like last year. I wouldn't put my money on Dakota Prescott, and he is the quarterback of my team. Then Josh Allen of Buffalo. Then Tom Brady at 4. Aaron Rodgers 5. Matthew Stafford 6. Justin Herbert 7. So that's quite a list there.
Yeah.
And the smart money is on Patrick Mahomes.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Ryan McCarthy, watching in upstate New York, says, why does Saskatchewan have the best town names? Paradise Hill, Moose Jaw. Well, he says Flin Flon, and that's actually Manitoba. And frankly, I'm partial to Medicine Hat.
How about that?
I also learn something every day. We learned today that Flin Flon, Manitoba stands for Flint to Betty Floniton, a fictional character from a 1905 novel.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Whoa, right on me. Hey, you want to show the empty chair, guys? Trying to just tweet the links and all the rest, right? Yeah, no moose. It just kind of came up upon us. It's FlameTech Football Friday. Welcome inside the bunker. And, how long was it, Clark? 60 seconds before we went to air. He said, by the way, Moose is having a tough time logging in. And so it's just going to be you. Have fun. And here I am. So he might be. Please let me know when he is. That would be real nice. Coming up on this FlameTech Football Friday today, Mike Morreale will be joining us. Hamilton Tiger Cats, great. And obviously we'll be talking football with Mike Morreale, but he is also the commissioner of the CEBL. And just last weekend, they completed their third season championship weekend in Edmonton. The host Stingers won it. Mike Morreale is going to join us to talk about that and a lot of things. And then joining us right here in the bunker is Tiger Cats, Eskimos, and Roughriders alum Chris Getzlaf, who was just named a few days ago to the Plaza of Honour. That is the Saskatchewan Roughriders version of the Hall of Fame. Chris Getzlaff will be with us in the bunker to talk about all things, maybe a little bit about his brother and all the rest. So we've had a not happening, we've had a might happen. So where are we right now on Darren DuPont, guys? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So here's the thing. The Moose is not with us. I'll let him tell you where he is, if you can get him on the screen. There, yeah. Hey, looking like $1 million. How you doing, Moose?
I'm doing really well, Rod.
Good.
We're dealing with some lake life tech difficulties. You ever have problems with your internet at the lake?
Haven't tried. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So
no, it's good.
It's fine now, so I appreciate that. So I'm going to ask the guys to keep you up for this entire quick six and the warm up, brought to you by Ecol Electric. Okay, Moose, are you good to go and talk some football there? Okay, what's the quick?
Absolutely.
Can you hit the show horn, please? I got to tell you, Moose, that I'm surrounded by technical people around here. You know the kind? They're all over the place. They're buzzing all over. I feel completely outnumbered without you here. It's a lot of guys running around dressed all in black T-shirts and jeans and black shoes. They're either going to go rob a bank right after this, or I don't know what they're doing.
How about that?
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, they might. What flavor of Caliber coffee are you rocking at Candle Lake this morning, by the way?
This is Sumatra. We brought the Sumatra up.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, so here we go with number one. We covered this the other day when we were talking about Canadian Football League Week 4 games, and because we are a Canadian-based show, I want to talk about the games, okay, Moose? So tonight, Week 4 opens, and then we'll get around to last night's postponement in a moment. But it is the Montreal Alouettes home to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I want to hear from the Montreal fans about how they're feeling about tonight's game. But the Tiger Cats, who are 0-2, are going into the game as 2.5-point favorites as listed by bettingpros.com, which I still don't get. So I can't remember who the heck I was talking to yesterday about what a calamity it was and the millions of dollars lost with last night's postponement. And again, we'll come back around on that because there are more Edmonton Elks found to be COVID positive. But let's stick to the positive. The good news is that there will be a football game played tonight in Montreal. And the Owls come home for their home opener at 1-1. I got the Alouettes to win the game tonight, so it's pretty easy to say they're going to beat the spread. Ticats by 2.5, unless I've completely misread the situation.
Yeah, I don't know if you have. I mean, I'm with you on that. It's tough because Hamilton's short man, but Dane Evans is going to get the start. So how much does that boost this Hamilton Tiger Cats offense? But I'm a big believer in what Vernon Adams Jr. was doing early on, in week 1, throughout the back half of last season they were on the field. I think Montreal's got something to prove too. They're at home. So I'm with you. I think Montreal wins this, but you know how well we've been doing predicting games, or anybody's been doing predicting games in this league. It's
been an absolute well, it's good because I haven't put any actual money down on these games, so I haven't lost any money, but I was 1 of 4 last week. By the way, sprinkling in some comments here from the Jug. You know the Jug. Writes in and says, first day betting in Canada for single game betting. It's a good day. I think for a lot of society, they're going to say not a whole lot has changed. We can discuss that a little later. By the way, you're making me seasick. What's going on with your camera there? What's going on?
Is it a little bit? Just want to make sure it's set up properly. Why don't you take me off for a second, and I'll make sure it's set up a little better.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah, I just, whoa, it was like an old SCTV skit. And, wow, Sean Holm watching in Winnipeg says, hey, man, it's my first time watching your show thanks to you being on Winnipeg Sports Talk. How about that? That was yesterday. I was on with Hustler, and frankly, we took up 20 minutes talking about COVID and CFL and pro sports in Canada. So I appreciate you checking us out, Sean. Thanks, and we'll get back on topic. We're not normally this disjointed. So there's a lot of people picking Hamilton to win tonight, Moose, but it's not us. We think Montreal will win. And I send my regards to all the Quebecers who asked us to come out and be there at the home opener for the Alouettes. Clearly, we would have loved to have been, but you're at the lake. I'm here holding down the fort. Somebody's got to work. And that reminds me, I had multiple invitations last night. I missed going to the Pac Canadians blue and white because I went to Buffalo Days, and that was great. But there's just seems to be a whole lot going on and has been my bane of my entire existence on God's green earth. I can't be in more than one place at once. Anyways, other games. Saturday, it is the BC Lions at the Ottawa Red Blacks, and the Lions go in there favored by 5 points on the road, and Ottawa has yet to score a touchdown. I think I got to take the Lions to do that, to cover the spread. BC winning on the road on Saturday. How do you feel?
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. BC isn't that happy with how they played last week, but I think the Lions win on the road too. I'll take BC to cover.
All right, that's 2 of us. Let's have some fun here. Randolph Zora's watching in Ontario, and he says, the Moose looks like a CNN reporter waiting on a hurricane. Do you feel that way?
Well, it's funny. Like you and I talk. We'll go into some behind the scenes stuff here. Like this setup looks great. I've got, all this gear, testing it out for some future projects. And for whatever reason, I had it all, Chrome or whatever internet browser was blocking the use of my mic and camera. So here I am now back on my phone. And because of that, I had to shut the light off so it wasn't glaring. And now it does. It feels like I'm hunkered down here waiting for her.
Yeah, well, I hope the hurricane doesn't hit you. But all this splashy new equipment that the Moose has bought for me to go on the road, you haven't exactly got me feeling real confident that it's going to work, Moose. But that's why we're doing this today.
I knew that was going to happen. He's going to be like, it's not going to work. But hey, this is why we're doing it now. We're ironing out the kinks. Better to do this here in the test flight than for real.
I'm telling you that this is actually a hell of a lot of fun. I don't know if you're all having it, but I am.
Me too.
Continuing, Jennifer's watching down at the Four Seasons Sports Palace, and she says the Pats were at Lumsden yesterday. No, the Pat Canadians were at Lumsden yesterday. And it was one of the officials doing the game that asked if I would come out and watch his game, and ended up going with a sponsor, Prairie Mobile Communications, to Buffalo Days. So again, as I say, can't be everywhere. So Moose and I got the BC Lions to cover the spread, win by 5 or more at Ottawa on Saturday. It is a wonderful CFL weekend, by the way, in terms of games Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then the Canada's game of the week is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers home to the Calgary Stampeders on Sunday. I believe it's 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 Central at IG Field, where you need to be double vaccinated to get in. Bombers favored by 5. Just feels weird that the Stampeders go into any game as an underdog, ever. But I'm taking the Bombers to cover. How about you?
I don't know. This is the game I don't know. We talked about Jake Mayer and, leading into his first win, and it's like, this is a rookie. They can't possibly win with him again. Take Montreal, and sure enough, he, stumbles out of the gate and then completely takes off and leads Calgary to win. So if he does that again, Calgary can win the football game. 5 is a big spread, but Winnipeg has been playing so well, and even when they got behind, they still played pretty good against Toronto in the loss. I have to go with Winnipeg, but I could see Calgary winning this. There's paths to victory for the Stampeders, but I'll go with Winnipeg too.
I think that's the game that I'm most interested in watching, by the way, although I'll be watching parts of them all. By the way, it is the warm-up, brought to you by eCold Electric. Come check out our new Regina Data and Lighting Center, eCold Electric. Let's get to work. I'm kind of just enjoying the comments from the viewers as well. They really think that you look like a CNN reporter bracing for a hurricane. And actually, I want to applaud everybody around here, all these tech guys running around all dressed in black, that people think we look like CNN. Like, that's the win for the day.
How about that?
That's the win for the day. Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
the validation.
From Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott is watching in the Energy City. He says, any day with the RP show is a good day. Great show. Keep up the great work. So I just feel like everybody's ready. Yeah, I feel like everybody's ready for a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Point 2 here is that there are 4 National Football League games tonight. My weekend is centering around the Dallas Cowboys and Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday on the NFL Network. I probably won't be paying a lot of attention to tonight's games. I just want to mention what they are. Colts at the Lions, Eagles at the Jets, Steelers at the Panthers, and the Vikings at the Chiefs, Moose. So that's what's going on in the NFL tonight. We'll come back on the NFL in a second because I want to go to point 3. 2 more Edmonton Elks have tested positive. It's brought the team total to 14 now. I saw David Naylor crunching the numbers, and he said, maybe you saw his tweet, the TSN Insider, that close to 20% of that football team has tested positive for COVID. So a guy called me this morning from Edmonton, and he goes, it's crazy up here with COVID. And he texted me, so I immediately called him, Moose, and I said, okay, just the football team or the whole city's going crazy with COVID? And he's like, no, just the football team. But he's like, why are they not just scrapping this game and awarding the Argos with a 1-0 victory? That's the question that I had earlier in the week when this happened. You are the guy that looks at it from the CEO muckety-muck point of view that I don't, Darren. Why have they not scrapped this game yet and awarded it to Toronto, since Edmonton clearly hasn't been able to get their house in order COVID-wise?
Yeah, you want to blame it on Edmonton, but you also don't want to deprive the fans and the league of that the league of the revenue and the fans of the game. So you'll do whatever you can to get this game in. Remember, in the NFL, they'll penalize the team and they'll put the team at a disadvantage. They're not really going to bend over to make life easy for Edmonton. At least they didn't in the NFL. Remember when the Denver Broncos had to play a game without a quarterback, right? They wanted to get the game in so bad, but they didn't really care about making sure that Denver was okay. They're the ones who made the mistake in this situation. And you'll go as long as you can to try and get a game in. I remember, was it Baltimore and Pittsburgh that they slotted in on a weird night? I know with Tennessee and Buffalo, that game ended up on a bit of a different day. I think it was a Tuesday. So they'll move stuff around, try and find holes in the schedule, but they also can't play if the Elks have all these positive cases anyways. So there's no point in scheduling it and trying to get it in now when you don't have enough players to play. But at some point, they may have to cancel it. If they do, I'm sure the Elks will end up with the forfeit and Toronto will end up with the win. But it's not a great situation. And the CFL's not alone. I mean, Tennessee, my Titans are going through it with Vrabel. Tannehill's in COVID protocol now. They've got a few cases. And that team is reported to be over 90% vaccinated. So they're doing all the things right. And it's still getting in. If Edmonton doesn't have enough players vaccinated, then they're not doing enough things right and still getting it. They'll end up paying. But yeah, from a league perspective, they want to do what they can to get it.
I'm glad that you explained it that way, and that's why sometimes I bring you down to earth. Sometimes you bring me down to earth. And here, yeah, they will exhaust every single avenue and opportunity to make money before they cancel games. So that's the summation of what the Moose just said.
And I'd like to say it's for the fans, but yeah, it's to make money.
Mike, watching in Toronto, says, we don't go to the games here in the 6, Darren. The Elks are going to have to forfeit this game. Argos. Well, maybe, Mike, in Toronto, you need to change that, and you need to go to the games. I got this one. Where the heck is it? The Calgary viewers are chiming in, saying, hey, here it is, from the general. He says, Calgary teams are clean. Hashtag smugface. They can brag. They have the right to brag. They haven't had outbreaks. They've been able to play games. They've instituted their proof of vaccination policy. Calgary should be bragging, and good for them. They didn't have the injuries in the preseason. They haven't had these outbreaks. They've welcomed fans. They've had home games. Calgary should be feeling good about the way they've handled themselves in all their sports in this COVID situation. By the way, regarding you looking like a hurricane reporter on CNN, Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg's watching on YouTube. He says, you need James Earl Jones to say, this is the Rod Pedersen Show. I can't even do it.
It's spicy.
Is CNN.
I bet you Rick Regan could do it.
Oh, yeah. We should have Rick Regan, make this as a note, Jordan, to have Rick Regan create spoofs of all the little famous lines. And that's the way it is.
And that's the way it is. Yes. Hey, I said I was going to get out the poll, and here it is. We're all out of order here today, by the way, in terms of our Quick Six show topics, but that's okay. Who's the Super Bowl favorite? For Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, Luke Clark and I sat around the table. These are the top 4 ranked teams by ESPNs.com analytics generator. Who has the best chance? Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, or Green Bay? And the majority of you are voting on Facebook for the Kansas City Chiefs. 40% say they're going to win the Super Bowl. 59% on Twitter saying the Kansas City Chiefs will avenge their loss from last year's Super Bowl. They'll do it this year. And by the way, a Kansas City-Tampa Bay rematch is the leading analytics generator for a Super Bowl matchup. The other points, Darren, where Deion Sanders calls the NFC East garbage. We already know that. That was on an interview. That's apparently a big deal. Jameis Winston named starter for the Saints. And Aaron Rodgers, 2 things, says he won't judge his teammates that don't want to be vaccinated. And they're comparing Aaron Rodgers to The Last Dance. Michael Jordan's last year with the Chicago Bulls is like Aaron Rodgers last year with the Packers this upcoming year. And we all know how that turned out. So listen, this has been fun. Say hey to your family for me. And any last thoughts before we let you go, Moose?
No, I will. I will. Have a great rest of the show. Have a great rest of the weekend. I'll say hi to everybody for you, for sure.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for this. Darren Moose DuPont checking in from Hurricane Central on the Florida coastline. Football Friday is brought to you by FlameTech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Mike Morreale joins us next as we keep the party rolling. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a FlameTech Football Friday. We welcome you wherever you may be tuning in across all 10 provinces and 31 states on Game Plus TV or live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Just ahead of Mike Morreale from the 204. Ward, watching in Manitoba, says, hey, Rod and Moose, if it comes down to a field goal to win for the Bombers, we lose. We need a kicker. It's amazing that last year and for the last several years, there were way too many kickers than there were teams. And now there's way more teams than there are kickers. Funny how that works. But I still have confidence that the Bombers will win by 5 or more, and it won't come down to a kick. I always enjoy chatting with Mike Morreale, the commissioner of the Canadian Elite Basketball League and the CFL Grey Cup champion, as we bring him in from his Southern Ontario home. There he is. What's he got on today? How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well, Rod. Thanks. And I'm a little rough looking today, but I just came off of what felt like 18 months of COVID. So I'm just trying to enjoy a little peace and relaxation after our season is over.
I appreciate you allowing us to bother you today, Mike. And I promise I won't keep you for long. But I thought about you guys so much. I went to the games in Saskatoon. You must have been asked, as the commissioner of the CEBL, how did you pull this off? And almost kind of under the radar, man. How did you do it? Congratulations.
It has been a struggle. There's no doubt about it. It was a lot of hard work by a lot of people, and we just had the desire from day one to get this done and to work tirelessly to get it done. And sometimes when people ask me how, I didn't know. We dove right in. We did everything in our power to be able to put teams on a court and to have it work successfully. And sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes luck is based on the amount of effort you put in.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's more than just outbreaks and stuff. Like you and I have talked about your owner, Richard Petco. Resources don't seem to be an issue there, but I'm looking at your guys' travel across the country. I know the teams are smaller. What is there, 12 to 15 guys on a team?
Yeah, we travel with 14, so a little bit more manageable than a football team, that's for sure. Yeah.
Right. So the cost is whatever. Richard's got that covered. But the testing, when I was at SaskTel Center in Saskatoon, everybody was getting swabbed. If you're going on the court, you're getting swabbed just before the game. Like, Mike, you're making it sound very easy. I know it wasn't. What a relief it must have been to hand out that championship trophy to the Stingers last week and just go, whew.
Yeah, there was a few moments, and more than a few moments, where you're flying by the seat of your pants. And the pandemic has no rules; it can do whatever and whenever it wants. We're seeing it roll out in other sports and leagues right now. But yeah, when the confetti fell, that was my moment to exhale and to at least know, okay, we made it past that. And first thing I thought was, oh man, I hope we don't have to do that again next year. And who knows? Like, we're still in the middle of this. This has not gone away. And I'm just fortunate that we were able to be successful in our season to get it in. And now we have some time to, I would say relax, although we don't have a lot of time to relax. We're right back into operation mode for 2022. But to get our players in and out and get them in and out safely was a big thrill.
Well, I will say congratulations again. And I've said that to all my friends in the league. Now for some questions that aren't so tough. Xavier Moon of the Edmonton Stingers wins Player of the Year for a third consecutive year. It's mind-boggling. Talk about this player if you don't mind. And with the NBA being his future, Mike, what are we talking here for Xavier Moon? What does this mean for him?
Well, with Xavier, I think he's just a special athlete. He is a guy that won the award in year one, and got better in year two, and got better in year three. And it's kind of hard to imagine because of how good of a player he is. And, what's really interesting is to compare him to the quality of player that keeps entering the league. And he still is I'm not going to say head and shoulders above, but anytime you win 3 back-to-back MVPs, you got to be something special. And, he's going against some amazing talent across the league. And he still is identifiable as the best player on the court. So, you look at, award winners in years past. I played with Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie was somebody that I couldn't put my finger on why he was better than everyone. He was just better. I mean, he was certainly one of the best prepared people, but just saw the game in a different way. And Xavier has that. And his teams rally around him. His teammates rally around him. And whenever he wants to flip that switch, he can make things happen.
I'm looking up your Wikipedia. I forgot about that. I just think of you as a tie cat. Huh. By the way, hey, Doug Flutie, best player to ever play in the CFL. I get asked that question a lot. I don't really remember watching Warren Moon. I certainly never saw him live. Doug Flutie, the best player ever?
Doug Flutie is the best player. Danny McManus is the best quarterback, pure quarterback. But Doug, followed by Pinball, would be the two top players that I shared a field with for sure.
Well, with Danny Mac, would love hearing that. Oh, my God. I can't wait to talk to him about that. I think they still got the record for fewest sacks against on that 99 team. I'm not quite yet done with the CEBL. We'll switch over to CFL in a second, and I apologize for doing that. John in Edmonton says, congratulations on the Scarborough franchise. Why, here it is. Why all the hype over Scarborough and not also the Montreal team? Was there more hype over this expansion team, the Shooting Stars? And congrats on that, by the way.
Well, certainly there's a lot of hype about that. We haven't officially launched the Montreal team, so that's still forthcoming. So when that happens and we're in town and we're doing the grand reveal and the logo and all that stuff, I expect Montreal to be equally as exciting because of the destination that is Montreal, but also the quality of basketball players that play in Quebec and just the entertainment that Montreal brings to our league and the expansion of that. But Scarborough, because of the ownership group and obviously Nico with his connection to OVO and Sam Ibrahim at Playground Global and all the affiliated people that are involved in those two kind of ownership pieces, it really kind of blasts open that entertainment door for us. It provides us with opportunities now to go well beyond the sports side of what we do and now into the entertainment side, the cool factor, so to speak. And some of our younger fans in the 12, 13, 14 up to, the teens and early 20s, when they heard that there was an involvement from Nico and that group, it kind of changed the perception of our league. And sometimes, you can't buy that. It just happens. And the affiliation with that group is exciting. The fact that it'll be a GTA-based team is incredibly exciting. And the fact that they have committed to it being a Scarborough team has now, believe me, since that day, a week or so ago, has really blown the doors open to other similar groups contacting me about, having a team to rep their hometown. So that's the really intangible part about adding them to the piece of the puzzle. And they're part of the ownership group on the league side as well. So that's really important as we continue to grow.
For sure. A lot of comments from the viewers. Dylan Spicer says, would love to see the CEBL in the Maritimes, but they have their own league, and we won't talk about merger talks here today, Mike, and they do well. But let me ask you this. What has the CBC television contract and GEM and Twitch done for the CEBL in terms of exposure?
Oh, it's done a tremendous job, and we've added our own platform called CBL Plus, which is our kind of media and content OTT platform. And really, it's about exposure. I believe that earlier on in your growth stage, you want a team with partners that can provide you the brand awareness. CBC certainly does that. It's in every household theoretically, coast to coast for free. We can go internationally for free. You can use our platform to watch the games on any kind of, whether you're on your phone or your tablet or your computer or your television. That exposure is priceless. It really is, because there's a perception value to being on national television. And our partnership with CBC will continue to grow, as does their opportunities to help grow, basketball as an Olympic sport and the Canadiana side of what we bring to the table. And the fact there's no really competing Summer Olympics to worry about that we kind of fell into the last couple of years. So as we roll into 2022, I think you're going to see CBC get even more integrated in what we do, and add that to the landscape of the gambling and the opening of that and the lifting of those restrictions. Now you've got extra tentacles that are delivering your message and really helping marketing the league as well.
Commissioner of the CEBL, Mike Morreale, with us. I won't keep you much longer, Mike, because it is off season for you. But wow, now my mind's racing. How many Grey Cups you got? 2?
I have 2, played in 3, but was lucky enough to win 2.
Are you 99 Ticats like the 72 Dolphins? I know you weren't undefeated, but do you guys get together and say we're the greatest Hamilton team ever? A, and B, how do you feel about the 0-2 Ticats this year?
Well, I won't lay claim to the greatest Ticat team ever. but I will lay claim to the most fun I think you've had winning a championship in those couple seasons. We had a crew of characters, so we certainly probably drank more than the other teams combined and still won a championship. I don't know. We had a lot of fun. And, the start to the Ticats is in a city like Hamilton. You'll know it from it being in Saskatchewan. When things don't go well, the fans let you know. When things go well, the fans also let you know. So they're stuck in a bit of a test right now, but they still have a lot of football, although it's a shortened season, shortened timelines, bigger expectations with the Grey Cup in your backyard. I will reserve more comment maybe to see what happens in the next game against Morreale. If they're able to come back to life, I know Dane Evans is going to be behind center. If that's the catalyst they need to move forward, that's fantastic. And if they lose, well, that's a tough hole to climb out of, especially that with the Eastern teams starting to win. It's very untypical start for the Cats, certainly after the last little while.
Hey, as they say, teams that party together win together. I don't think that's changed, Mike, or maybe you and I are just a little too old school on that. I'm not sure, but yeah, it certainly has been a lot of fun to watch. Well, I want to say this about the 99 Ticats, by the way. If you remember, that was my first year calling the games. You're just, I think, a year or two older than me. And do you remember the Riders came in there, you kicked our ass to the tune of 62-7. Reggie Slack missed the team flight there, and Steve Sarkisian was the quarterback for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Do you remember that game?
I do remember that game. I do. I didn't remember. And now that you bring it up, I do remember the Reggie Slack situation as well. At some point, Reggie came to Hamilton. And I don't remember if it was tied into that whole year or not. But yeah, again, you play in the CFL long enough, Rod, or you cover the CFL long enough, you see it all.
Is that ever truer words never spoken? But just with Sark running the Texas Longhorns now, we did spend a year or two together there in Saskatchewan. It was awesome, and he's a great guy. As are you, Mike. Appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of summer, and thanks for this today.
Oh, my pleasure. Hey, you can bother me anytime. Not a problem. Okay. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Commish. Mike Morreale, the commissioner. I just did a hook 'em horns for Steve Sarkisian, now that I think about it. What a fun chat with Mike Morreale. And we'll continue with commentary on that. We got a sports update coming up. We'll check the poll. And that's what I wanted to mention. We do have a lot of viewers in the Hamilton area. Man, is tonight's game big. Because Cogeco Cable, Rogers Cable, all carry Game Plus. And, of course, they're watching on YouTube and Facebook as well. Big one tonight. We'll be right back. We'll talk about that and what else is popping in football on this FlameTech Football Friday. You are watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full-Service Car Wash. Your car deserves it at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. FlameTech Football Friday continues, and it's just me in the bunker right up until the top of the hour. FlameTech, locally owned and operated, industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Producer Clark was asking Moose DuPont if he could come on virtually for the rest of this hour, and I said, no, I can handle it. I can't go on the air 2 days ago and say I'm not scared of anything and then not be able to go on the air by myself for 20 minutes. And, yeah, I used to be scared doing the little local radio show. I used to be scared. Now here we are on national television, 2.2 million homes in Canada, and I can do it. But it would help if you people would write in with questions and comments. Let's get it going on this FlameTech Football Friday. You can help me out. We haven't done this for quite some time where we do this together. And the line is open, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. And I want to thank Prairie Mobile for inviting me and taking me to Buffalo Days last night. That's the local fair. And I'm not going to get into those stories, but I did enjoy a corn dog on the midway and pizza and root beer, but no fudge, which is a change for me.
Spicy.
The pizza was. Big game tonight in Montreal. I'm checking the comments from the viewers here. From Simon Deshane, great night for the city of Montreal. They have attendance cap there tonight, do they not? I think it's 15,000 going to be in there. Ryan Friesen, watching on YouTube, says the Owls will destroy the overrated Pussycats. How on earth could the Hamilton Tiger Cats be regarded as overrated tonight or in any game right now when they're winless? Massive intrigue going into the game tonight, 7:30 Eastern on TSN. By the way, telling those old CFL stories with Mike Morreale. If you missed us, the current commissioner of the CEBL, but two-time Grey Cup champion Mike Morreale, and one of the coolest cucumbers around, one of the coolest cats you'll ever meet. We were talking about that 62-7 game in Montreal. Wayne's watching in Victoria, BC. He says, I remember that 62-7 game in Montreal. Thanks for the nightmare. Yeah, Wayne, how would you like to have been us? That was my first year calling CFL games, which wasn't my sport. Hockey was and is, and they are speed bagging us, not laying off the gas. Morreale, Danny McManus, Paulus Baldiston, and I'm like, this is the longest night of my life! Because our quarterback missed the flight, which out of here, and Cooper Campbell, he's a football guy watching in Mississippi right now. Can you find his comment, guys? Here he is. Reggie Slack, one of my favorite Auburn Tigers. Hell of a player and a nice guy. He's all of those things, but on this road trip, he missed the flight. And that's about all I'm prepared to say on that story. Eric Endland's watching in Vancouver, and he says, I know we are still in the first hour of the show, but I want to thank everyone on the Rod Pedersen Show for another great week of sports talk. Thank you, Eric, out in Vancouver. It has been a tremendous week of sports talk, even though it hasn't been a tremendous week in sports. Can we all agree on that? The general in Calgary's watching. He says, I know you hate COVID questions, Rod, but is the Elks season in jeopardy now? Listen, bro, it's a small league. If the Elks season's in jeopardy, the entire CFL season's in jeopardy. It's only 9 teams. They might have to find a way to make this work without all the teams. And I actually meant to put this in my quick six, and I didn't. But did you see the tweet, Clark, yesterday from Shaq Evans, the Roughriders star wide receiver #1? Yeah. Can you put it up on the screen by chance? And I'd like to read that. No rush. Yeah, no rush. But I want to read that. And actually, let me do a sports update, and then I'll get to it. Given the opportunity, Canada's Jamie Lee Rattray made the most of it with 2 goals and a 5-1 win over the United States in the Women's World Hockey Championship in Calgary on Thursday. Rattray was Canada's spare forward for a couple of games in the preliminary round, with Captain Marie-Philippe Poulin out of the lineup recovering from a hard shot to the chest. Rattray's role expended. Big win. Canada 5, USA 1. Time is starting to run out for the Toronto Blue Jays, who saw their fading playoff chances take another hit as they dropped the 10-7 decision to the Chicago White Sox at Rogers Center. The American League Central leaders handed the Blue Jays their 9th loss in 13 games, and with that, Toronto moved 5.5 behind the Red Sox in the race for the 2nd American League wildcard spot. But we saw this coming. That's why we said, who are you going to be cheering for in the Major League Baseball playoffs? Because it's not going to be Toronto. And by the way, for the soccer fans, Pacific FC is through to the quarterfinals of the Canadian Championship after upsetting the Vancouver Whitecaps 4-3 in Langford, BC on Thursday. It's the 2nd time in a row the Whitecaps have been upset by a CPL team in the Canadian Championship. How about that?
How about that?
This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store for Ballers Rec Room, Saskatchewan's newest entertainment destination and home of the 4-hour Rider Tailgate Party. Your next chance is the Labor Day Classic. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. You got an update? Is that the Shaq Evans thing, or he deleted his tweet? Dang! And we didn't screenshot it.
Oh, spicy.
What were we thinking, Rod? Oh, man. Anyways, star rider receiver basically saying, don't tell me. I can remember, by the way. I didn't completely fry my brain. He goes, don't tell me that vaccinations are a choice when we're being told we have to get them or we can't travel on the road for games. Is that about right, Clark? You saw it, right? That's the summation of the tweet from the leading, or at least star receiver of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It's not a choice. They're making me do it. What are we, 8? Well, it's like you have to, and Clark has just prefaced it by saying that Shaq Evans has said he is already vaccinated. If you want to play, you need to get the shot. It's your job. If I want to broadcast Regina Pats games on television next year, I need to get a shot. I'm like, okay, let's go. What the hell? Again, are we 8? Your dad's watching, Clark. Rod Monroe writes in. He says, good morning, Rod. Here's to a great day, my friend. Say hello to the team in the back. Congratulations to our women's hockey team. 5-1. Wow. The hockey's pretty good. I got to say that. I will be taking in some of the playoff games on television this weekend. So say this wasn't so hard. We'll come back with viewer takeover. Chris Getzlaf will be here in the bunker in hour 2. Ticats Riders Eskimos alum, brother of Ryan Getzlaff, Hall of Famer. I'm looking forward to that. I do want to talk a little Edmonton, which reminds me, I guess before we break, Allie in Edmonton, she writes in on the 780. She says, happy FlameTech Football Friday RP show. Watching on Facebook on a break. We'll watch the recording from Game Plus TV tonight. Oh my God, Kevin, I laughed when you had your Manscaped segment. We needed the laughter. Thank you. Great shows as always. Yeah, people love the Manscaped. Don't laugh at Manscaped. Order it at manscaped.com with the promo code RP20. 20% off and free shipping. Can't beat that. But I want to talk about Edmonton because I heard there is a heck of an uproar there on the Oilers' policy to require double vaccination. And we'll talk about the Elks as well. What the hell? It is a FlameTech Football Friday. We'll be right back. You are watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full-Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. just like we wear on the show. Official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the portion of the show that we affectionately call Viewer Takeover, but we're doing more of it today because I am flying solo here in the bunker. Moose is at the lake. He joined us off the stop. Hey, off the start. I'm looking at all the comments from the YouTube viewers, and I'm like, whoa, there are a lot. Our YouTube viewership is climbing every day, gets higher every day. And I will get to your comments, but a gentleman, I will not name him, he has sent me the tweet here from Shaq Evans, which has subsequently been deleted, but the receiver for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, #1, says, just stop framing getting vaccinated as a freedom of choice because it's not. Just found out that if you're not vaccinated, you can't travel to road games and won't get paid. Yeah, so again, what's the problem? And Deb in Toronto is watching, and I appreciate you, Deb, all the time. She's watching on Game Plus TV. She says, I don't know what the big deal is about getting the vaccine. Did everyone not get mumps, measles, rubella vaccines and needing it to stay in school? It's the same deal. What I think is, Deb, we were little kids then, and we didn't have a choice. Does that make sense? We were kids. We hated the needles then. Now the adults don't want to do what they're told. As kids, we had to. I did it anyways. But I mentioned, and that reminds me, where the heck is this tweet from the guy on YouTube? He goes, time for the NHL. I know, right? Northside YEG. Time for the NHL. It can't get here fast enough. Which road? Checking into squirrel mode from Pinks, one of our P1s. He says, I know it's Football Friday, but this is interesting. According to NHL news updates on Facebook, apparently there's been a lot of talks on ESPN and NHL podcasts about having an all-star game where it's the NHL versus the KHL. Whoa.
Oh, spicy.
What do we think about that? Wait a minute. That's the Olympics. Next. John in Edmonton, I thought the commissioner of the CFL wasn't going to mandate getting a vaccine. I thought he said that. I literally don't know. I'm done. Can you imagine being the CFL? Imagine being Randy Ambrosie. And by the way, did you see the smile on Mike Morreale's face 20 minutes ago? Whew. It's like the CEBL got through their season. Nobody even paid attention. If they had a COVID outbreak, nobody knew because nobody cares. And we're sitting there watching the games. They never delayed a game, moved a game, had their championship, got through it, and nobody even noticed. Oh, Allie in Edmonton says, hey, RP Show, to clarify, it was a great job by you to make a promo for a sponsor entertaining and not mundane. Keeps us watching and listening. Oh, I got you, Allie, I know. Everybody loves the Manscaped reads. Just make sure you buy it. Chris Getzlaf coming up next hour. The Moose may return. And we'll dabble in the NHL, too. I'm getting sick of this COVID stuff. Be right back on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Ryan McCarthy, watching in upstate New York, says, why does Saskatchewan have the best town names? Paradise Hill, Moose Jaw. Well, he says Flin Flon, and that's actually Manitoba. And frankly, I'm partial to Medicine Hat.
How about that?
I also learn something every day. We learned today that Flin Flon, Manitoba stands for Flint Tibeti Floniton, a fictional character from a 1905 novel.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Rod Pedersen Show. It's hour 2. It's brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. This is what we call the second half kickoff. And, man, on this FlameTech Football Friday, we've covered a lot. I'm thrilled. This is going to be awesome. Chris Getzlaf was a Hall of Famer long before he was even named a Hall of Famer last week by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He joins us in the bunker. How you doing, Chris?
Excellent. How
Good.
are you doing?
I'm doing great now that you're here. I was handling this on my own for a while because the Moose is gone. He's gone to the lake, so it's nice to have somebody else in here to talk sports with. How's the summer been?
Can't complain. I mean, had some pretty phenomenal weather. All this rain probably could have happened in June to help out the farmers, I bet. But, I mean, I've been working really hard. For this summer has been a lot more work with my business than normal summers. Other than that, I've got a few things done around the house and played a few rounds of golf.
Good for you. Well, Chris is in the financial planning game, and not like he needs any. Pull your mic up a little closer there, Getz, if you don't mind. Not like he needs any introduction, but Ticats Eskimos Roughriders alum and a member of the famed Getzlaff sports family. And so we'll take your questions, of course. That's what makes this fun. Not like I couldn't fill the whole time for Chris myself. But let's start with the current environment of the CFL. Your former team, the Elks, has game postponed this week because of a COVID outbreak. Have you sat back and said, I'm so glad I'm retired? Does that hit you yet? Or have you thought, has that hit you at all?
I mean, still miss the game on a regular basis. So, it's one of those things that you can only play for so long. It's not like a regular career that you can, kind of work as long as you want to. So I miss the game. I'd love to be able to play it still, but do I regret retiring or where I'm at or anything like that? Absolutely not. And, the current situation and the environment right now, I'm glad I'm not a part of that.
Well, that's kind of what I meant. I knew that you would miss the game, but these protocols and so forth they seem a little tedious, and I know that you won a Grey Cup with Brendan Labatt, and you know what Big Blue's take was on that. He's like, I'm not interested in participating in this. I'm trying to find the comment from Mandy at Edmonton, guys. She's got here she goes. She says, I'm watching on YouTube on my big screen TV and Facebook on my phone at the moment. Pretty slick. Different experience when it's on TV. So thank you, Mandy. Appreciate you watching in Edmonton. And I guess that's my point. I mean, if you put COVID aside, the games have been pretty good. You've been watching?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of the quality of play and what we've seen through 3 weeks?
I think that there's been it's been a good product on the field. I think that the lack of preseason and normal training camp, I think, has definitely hindered the offenses to start the season. I mean, I think that most offenses have come out pretty slow. Defense have been dominating games a lot more than you would traditionally see in the CFL anyway. So, for the most part, I've been very entertained. There's been tight games, turnovers, you name it. There's been more defensive battles than I would say anything, though.
Very difficult to predict outcomes. I don't know if you do that or not, but I was like 1 of 4 last week, which is actually a great thing. Our viewers, I said that we would take some questions from them, and let's do that. That's, again, the secret sauce of this show. Somebody asked, who's faster, you or Ryan? And I got to say this about your family, because I've known you guys a long time. You've never, ever got tired of questions about your brother Ryan Getzlaff, star of the Anaheim Ducks, which is cool. Have you gotten tired yet of those questions? Who's faster? Who's a better skater? Who's this? Who's that?
No, I never will. I think they're interesting questions, and it just goes to family dynamics and, how I feel and how I grew up with Ryan. I'm always going to be open to those questions, so they never bother me. I'm beyond proud for the success that he's had in all aspects of life, but obviously specifically in the hockey world is pretty amazing. So, no, obviously I'm faster.
Well, and I would think he would win a skating race. However, you're just that much younger than me that we never had an opportunity to play on the Roughriders hockey team together. But there are local hockey people that say that you can dangle yourself. What is your hockey resume? When did you make the decision to specialize football over hockey?
Okay, yeah. I've never stopped playing hockey. So, but I was playing very competitive hockey. I played for Team Sask when I was 12 years old. Back-to-back years. Atom hockey, I played for Team Saskatchewan both years. So, I was, one of the better players in the province at that time. Going into Pee Wee, that's when contact hockey started back then. I was very small, and I got cut from Tier 1 hockey. After playing for Team Sask the year before, I got cut from Tier 1 hockey because they said I was too small. So I still continued to play, and I truly made a decision in between grade 11 and grade 12. I was trying out for the Pat Canadians, and I had two good days where I thought that I was likely to make the team, and I decided to focus on football because I wanted to be a captain on the team, and I thought that trying to do both wouldn't allow me that opportunity.
So no coach made you pick? Or
no coach made me pick or anything. I would say there's definitely pressure on both sides to kind of pick, but it's not like anyone was sitting there saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. It wasn't anything like that, but I think that there is pressure because it's obviously a big commitment on both sides. Football, you're practicing every day. Pat Canadians are going to be practicing / playing all the time. So, there's a lot of pressure to be able to handle both.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's been going on for decades and decades and decades that I've known of players that have been forced into a decision. So it's good that you were able to make that decision yourself, really, right? And by the way, announced going into the Roughriders Hall of Fame last week. I mean, I texted you that day. I'll say it again. Congratulations. How does that feel?
Thank you. Surreal feeling. I mean, you hope that one day that you had made an impact in order to get recognized in that manner. And, getting that call was really exciting. And hearing that I'm going in with Andy is also very exciting. It's going to be a great weekend sharing it with him.
We have some hockey and NHL questions coming in, which I know you don't shy away from. But I will say this, somebody that wasn't really in the know wrote me when your announcement came down, and they said, has he had a Hall of Fame career? And I'm like, yeah, 1,000-yard credentials, top Canadian in the Grey Cup, just like your boy Fantuz is going in with you. You have very similar football resumes, which is kind of cool. And can you speak of your relationship with Andy Fantuz, if you don't mind?
I have a great relationship with Andy. I mean, he's a great person, phenomenal player, great competitor, amazing hands, was able to find space somewhat like no other. So getting to know him while we were playing the game and having the success that we were having while playing together, obviously developed into a friendship that still lasts today. So I have a great relationship with him. It's not like we're talking every week by any stretch, but we're catching up every few months at a minimum. And like I said, it's going to be a phenomenal weekend to be able to share that experience with them.
Before we do switch to hockey, what is your take for the CFL fans and the Roughriders fans that are watching this 3-0 team about these Saskatchewan receivers? Braden Lenius, Mitchell Picton, and the other Canadians. It's pretty special to watch.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. I think they have a great core. And, I mean, you could probably go and list off 5 of them that can go out there and play right now. But, the guys that are getting their time, they're definitely making an impact. And you can tell they're doing things right, and they're making the plays that they're supposed to. So it's pretty exciting to watch, and I'm loving it.
From Mike Blackbird, he's watching in Toronto. He is an Argonauts fan, but he said, does size really need to matter in sports? And I would say to that, does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Your brother, like I've seen him play, we all have, but to see him play live is another story. And I remember sitting in the stands in the Honda Center. I think it was at practice. You were there. Rich Preston was with us, and Rico goes, Ryan just kind of does whatever he wants out there. Like, he is a moose.
Yeah, okay? He's a big human being, and size definitely plays a part. I mean, in today's hockey world, it's not as big as a deal as it once was because of how the rules change and everything, the clutching and grabbing that kind of got taken away, which is adding more penalties, obviously. So, being a smaller, quick skater now means more than it used to. So, but I mean, if you're bigger, stronger, faster, obviously that's going to play a part in success.
Your brother could have thrived in any era, right? Like, he's made a great career in this era, but he kind of what is cut from the cloth of the old era. But by the way, I almost texted you, but didn't want to bother you in NHL free agency this summer. You get it. Because I saw your brother linked to the Montreal Canadiens and the Edmonton Oilers, and I thought, but then a very close friend of your family said there's no way he's ever leaving. He loves it there. The Ducks were going to look after him, and they did, obviously, but did you ever think there was a chance he would sign somewhere else?
I did actually think there was going to be a chance.
Wow.
Yeah. I never thought it prior to, free agency kind of approaching, but the fact that he was actually going to free agency meant that he was willing to hear what other teams had to say, and for the first time in his career, have a chance to be touted. He'd always re-signed with Anaheim before ever having an opportunity to hear from anybody else. So the fact that he reached that, and I was actually listening to what other teams had to say and trying to get him to potentially sign with them, I thought that there was a chance. I figured as long as Anaheim was willing to offer him a contract, he would likely stay because, it's a pretty long, successful career he's had there. And I'm sure that he would prefer to close the book playing for only one team in his career. So, but there was a chance.
I get it, though, and it's nice to be courted, right? Those teams wanted him, I'm sure, right? Because he's still got a lot of gas left in the tank. But what do you see ahead for the Anaheim Ducks? Because, by the way, I haven't picked third in the Pacific Division and got lambasted for that. I got Vegas, Edmonton, Anaheim. Am I getting ahead of myself?
I don't know. I think that they could be a team that has surprises some people this year. Whether they'll be extremely competitive, I don't know about that. But, playoffs, I think they'll be on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg, he says, as a Bomber fan, I absolutely loved that group of all Canadian receivers you were a part of. Congrats on the induction, Chris. That's nice when fans of the other teams chime in with that. Arlene in Saskatoon says, congratulations on your call to the Plaza. Well-deserved. What's your opinion about the Canadian ratio in the CFL? I know you have strong thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think that it's a part of the Canadian game, and I think that it should continue to be part of the Canadian game. It allows players an opportunity to get out and show what they can do. And, if it wasn't for the Canadian ratio, I think that there's several players that wouldn't have got their opportunity. And, I could be one of those. I'm not 100% on that, but I definitely think that there's a chance if the ratio didn't exist that I may have not got the same looks that I did or the same opportunities that I ended up getting in order to, make my mark in the game.
Troy in Toronto from Sober Athletic Wear says, which quarterback did you mesh with the best during your career, and what made you and the quarterback click?
Darian Durant by far. It's a lot of practice. You go out every day and you're throwing with the quarterback, and if you get to spend a lot of time with one quarterback, you get to know each other's tendencies very well. And when you're both on the same page and being able to see what the defense is doing, it just makes things click, and you're able to make plays. Doubles and I had a very good understanding of when defenses were bringing zero coverage blitzes, and he really trusted me in those situations to recognize it and break off my route accordingly. And, we made a lot of plays in those situations.
I'm thinking about your breakout game in Calgary, that big, deep touchdown. What do you remember about that game? What year was that? 09?
Everything.
Yeah, talk about that game, if you don't mind.
Yeah. It was 2009. I think it was week 5. It was my first opportunity to be a top 4 starter as a receiver. I had got some time as the 5th receiver into the end of 2008 and prior to week 5 in 2009. But Andy was hurt that week, so I got the chance to go in. I scored an early touchdown in the game, and really the part of that game that specifically stands out is, we're a minute and a half left in the game. We're 3rd and 10. We're down by 6, and Durant hits me on an adjustment like I was just talking about, hits me on a deep ball, and I score a 60-yard touchdown, and we end up winning the game by 1. So, that game stands out in my head a lot.
Yes, but it was shortly after that, and we're going to break here right away, but I remember I was bragging you up, obviously, and your speed. Do you remember pulling me aside, and you're like, maybe don't talk about my speed, because these DBs don't know. You're going to the Hall of Fame, Chris. When did the DBs... you stop sneaking up on them and you get respect for your speed?
Well, I don't know if the speed was ever really respected. And I think that there's some warrant behind that. I was never the fastest guy. My top end was definitely decent. Mm-hmm. So, but if I was going from a standstill, it's not like my takeoff was anything special. But, when you get an advantage of a waggle, which I played for the most of my career as a slot back, you get that advantage where, I can take full shots at the line of scrimmage and hit full speed going into everything that I want to do. That changes the game significantly.
Hall of Famer Chris Getzlaf with us here in the bunker on a FlameTech Football Friday. Ticats, Riders, Eskimos alum, member of the famous Getzlaff sports family. We'll take more of your questions. We'll get to a sports update when we return. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. FlameTech Football Friday continues on Game Plus TV and your favorite streaming service. FlameTech, locally owned and operated, industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. By the way, our poll question today, which we have not talked about here in hour two, is who's the Super Bowl favorite? And I literally have only gone by ESPN.com's analytics department. These are the top four teams: Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, or Green Bay. And leading the way with votes on both Twitter and Facebook are the Kansas City Chiefs, who they feel will avenge their loss in the Super Bowl last year. But next is Tampa Bay, 26%. So there's a very good chance of a Tom Brady repeat with the Bucs. And by the way, before we jump back into the CFL discussion, Chris Getzlaf joins us, Hall of Famer here in the bunker, which I'm sure will never get old for you, Chris, hearing that. NFL, you go into the fantasy stuff and that?
Oh, absolutely.
You do, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So what are you thinking about with this season? We're heading into the last weekend of the NFL preseason, then a week off, and then it's 2021 kickoff time. What are you going to be watching?
I
Everything.
I watch all football. Yeah, I watch all football, whether it's CFL or NFL. So Yeah, and I watch a lot of it. It's the one sport that I watch more than anything that I'm very dedicated to watching. I have multiple fantasy drafts that are coming up year yet for
multiple,
NFL.
huh?
Yeah, I'm in a few different leagues. So I think it adds a great aspect to the game. It's that much more fun watching a game when you have a player that their production in that game could mean something in a totally unrelated area, right? Mm-hmm. Playing fantasy football.
Did we get the right the top 4 teams here for Super Bowl favorites? I'll say them again. Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Green Bay.
Yeah, I would say that's probably going to be looking at the top 4. I don't know if there's going to be too many other real surprises when it comes to powerhouse teams during the season. I would say Kansas City probably is my favorite as well at this point to win. Not my favorite team, but
who is your favorite team?
New Orleans Saints.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So Torrey Gurley was on here yesterday and said this is going to be an eye-opener for the New Orleans Saints in the post-Drew Brees era. And they just named Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback. Is it all downhill from here, Chris?
No, heck no. They're going to be good. Saints are going to be good. Winston's going to be good. He got a chance to come in and learn a little bit from Brees. Peyton's amazing. It's going to be, you're going to see a different Jameis Winston. I mean, he could always sling it, and everyone always knocked him for his interceptions, obviously. But in his defense, he played a lot of those games from behind. Quarterbacks got to make decisions and take more chances when you're playing from behind. The Saints, on the other hand, they still have a very good defense. And I think that they have the offensive weapons in order to get it done. I think Winston will have a good year, and the Saints will be good.
You see what's so fun about this show, Getz, is just sitting here, shooting the breeze, having coffee, or in your case, water, because people are chiming in with their thoughts and their comments. Because I'm sitting here going, Jameis Winston couldn't make it happen in Tampa Bay. They replace him with Tom Brady, and boop, Super Bowl. Wow, that was easy. It wasn't quite that easy, but you could see how somebody would think that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, let's not forget that they had how many other free agent signings that all went there. Partially Brown, probably because Tom went there. And yeah, I mean, you're talking the greatest quarterback of all time. So, was it an upgrade at that time? Yeah, it was an upgrade.
I'm going to bring in the viewers because that's always so much fun. That Mike Blackbird in Toronto screams, "The Browns!" And forever more, even though Chris Jones is no longer with the Browns, I got to get your take on Chris Jones. And I think we've told this story on this show before, but I'm going to ask you to tell it again. Your time with the Roughriders when they brought you back in 2017, you enjoyed playing for Chris Jones.
I did. Yeah. When I came back, obviously off the start when he first came in, kind of cleaned house and everything. I would say that he did several things that I would consider offside. But I had a man-to-man discussion with him when I came back and basically said, I think I can help this team. It doesn't matter if I'm on the practice roster or whatever. I left Edmonton with the intention that I could help this team down the stretch. And that man-to-man, I think that he totally respected that, and I respected the fact that he listened to me and brought me in. So I did enjoy playing for him once I was on the team again, and I think that he is a good coach. I think there's definitely things that he could have done better, or maybe a little more sensitive in certain situations for sure. But, is he a good coach? Yeah, I think he's a good football coach.
Well, as they say, there's no good way to fire somebody. So he has his way of doing it, right? And I'm looking at your Wikipedia because, forgive me, Getz, I'm getting old. It was 2016 when you started in Edmonton. And apologies to those that aren't fans of these two teams, Edmonton and Saskatchewan. But you remember that game, first preseason game up there. They threw Edmonton, they threw 3 straight passes to you, I think, into the end zone. Preseason game. And you capped off that opening drive for the Eskimos with a touchdown. And I remember after the game, because you'd been cut by Jones and the Riders. I was standing with a buddy of mine from the Eskimos in the stands, and I said, that little drive with Getzlaff, was that to shove it up our throat? He goes, yep. That was Mike Rally to you the whole drive. You remember that?
Yeah,
Was
I
that
do.
called? Can you take... we've never talked about this.
You know what? I don't know if they were intentionally doing it, but it's kind of how it played out during that drive. And, thankfully I was able to cap it off.
How did it feel? I mean, it was only preseason, but it still had to feel good.
Yeah, it definitely felt good. It always feels amazing. There's not quite another feeling like scoring a touchdown. The adrenaline rush that goes through you. You cap off whatever drive it was, but you have at least a moment to soak it in, whereas every other play is like, yeah, you can be excited, but you got another play to get ready for. So, that's pretty quick, whereas you score a touchdown, you got a little more time to soak it in. It being preseason and being year 10, I think, for me at that time, it definitely wasn't outstanding or, a real excitement situation, but I was happy to score.
It's not like Claremont in double overtime of the West semifinal, right?
Right. It's never going to compare to that.
Right.
I don't. I might have even been more excited than JC was during that play. Like, I went and just tackled him in the end zone or jumped at him right away. That was amazing.
Against your old team, his old team.
Right.
Right. And I remember watching Wally watch that play unfold. I can't imagine how it felt. I get what you're saying. But by the way, for our Edmonton viewers, of which we have a ton, would you mind talking about your time in Edmonton? Because I've talked more with your wife about it. You guys loved the City of Champions as a city and a franchise.
Yeah, we enjoyed our time there. You play for a team for so long that you don't know what it's going to be like when you leave. And for me, I felt like I walked into just another locker room, and now you're just playing with new buddies. I really enjoyed my time there. My wife and I enjoyed living there as well. It was just, kind of business as usual. It was a little weird, obviously, new building, new teammates, new coaches. Yeah, where do I park? All that stuff, getting all that sorted out. But at the end of the day, it was still football. It was still meetings. It was still, hanging out with guys in the locker room and outside of football. So, I enjoyed my time there.
Who were the guys that welcomed you in? And first and most?
Michael Riley. I guess he wants to go by now, right? But, he was definitely, one of the guys that reached out to me right away. But so many. It's not even, I already knew AD, I already knew Odell, Sean White. I had plenty of people that I had already come across at one time or another in my career. And really, it just felt like you're walking into a situation where everyone's just happy to be there and everyone wants to get along and you're fighting for a common goal. So pretty easy to get along with everyone when there's that kind of mentality going on.
Yeah, in the time we have left, just before I let you go, you are extolling the virtues of what makes the Canadian Football League great, but every league's great. You played junior football, you played university football, right? It's all that atmosphere. But with this COVID and what's with the CFL, how fearful were you that it was going down? I'm still can't quite figure out how they're playing, to be honest with you, from a financial aspect. What's your thoughts been for the last year and a half for the league that gave you so much?
It's just tough. The CFL has never been in a position like a lot of your other major sports have, where, they have the financial backing to be able to go through whatever they need to in order to hold that season. The NHL putting on a bubble, the NFL having their, stringent testing on a daily basis. That there's a lot of dollars that have to go into that. And, if you have a league that doesn't have that kind of money, it makes it a lot more difficult to be able to pull that season off, right? That's why it didn't work out last year, I think, for the CFL. Hopefully, everything that's going on, can get subsided. And this is really short term, especially this past week. and hopefully they can move forward, because I think that there's been a good product on the field thus far, and you'd hate to see for it to go away.
Well, there are some questions that came in last hour, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. I didn't know the answers to them, but I just wonder how closely you're following this elk situation, because now the Labor Day Classic in Alberta is in jeopardy, right? How long is it going to take for them to isolate, which they're currently in isolation? And I said, if the elk season's in jeopardy, I would think mean the whole CFL season's in jeopardy, because it's a small league. Where can they get these games in? You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. How do you get the games in? Is there 3 bye weeks this year?
No.
No?
God, I think there's 1, isn't there, Guy?
Oh, I guess shortened season. Obviously.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's the point.
Yeah, it gets tough. And when that 1 bye week is probably, well, it's either going to be 1 team or 3 teams. I don't even know. But during that 1 week, it's pretty hard to reschedule it even for that week, because both teams likely aren't on the same bye week.
No. But how seriously, they're not going to do it in a bye week. So how seriously do you think leagues, not just the CFL, take player safety? For instance, as a pro football player, if you had to play 2 games in 7 days, would you do it?
Yeah, I think you'd do it. I mean, well, they've done that pre-COVID.
Yes, they have.
You know,
okay, maybe 3 games in 7 days then. Would you do that?
That's taking it pretty far once you're talking 3 games in 7 days. That's football is a game that is very, very hard on the body, and you need that week to recover. And having one Thursday game and then going to a Saturday, vice versa. When you only have 5 days, that's already kind of pushing it. Mm-hmm. I think it's doable. Obviously, it's been done for a long time, but anything more than that, you start getting to risk of injury, I believe.
Hey, I guess the obligatory question before I let you go is, assuming there will be a Grey Cup, and there's no reason to think that won't be December 12th in Hamilton, who do you think, as we sit here right now, will be in it? Who's your favorites from the West and the East?
I like the Riders. They look great, and I liked them before the season. And I think I will still say Hamilton, even though they're off to the start that they are. I still think Hamilton's going to pull it together. They've had some injury situations, and like I said, offenses across the league have really struggled off the get-go, so the stronger defenses have really taken over games. So I'm still going to stick with them. Toronto's been fairly surprising, I think, early. I thought that they would be a stronger team near the back end when they developed a lot more chemistry with all the new faces. But, they've showed pretty good. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Fun to watch. Big, big game tonight. Hamilton at Montreal, by the way, to kick off Week 4. Chris Getzlaf, congrats again on the Hall of Fame nod, and appreciate the time. Good seeing you.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Chris Getzlaf with us. We'll be back with more on a FlameTech Football Friday. All of your questions, a sports update, and overtime on the way, too. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's FlameTech Football Friday. It's just me and you again. Maybe we'll bring producer Clark out of his cage for overtime, but the Moose, oh, he is. The Moose is coming back, they tell me, from the lake. They're not trusting me to do this alone the rest of the way. The Prairie Mobile text line is open, by the way, 306-840-8777, 306-840-8777. We got people all across the land writing in. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, hit him again, ye men of Calgary, go Stamps. On Sunday, that is Canada's game of the week, the Calgary Stampeders at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain. I'll be in front of the television set for it, unless I find my way to Winnipeg for it. That could happen too. Troy in Toronto writes in, sorry for sighing before I even read the comment, but he says, Rod, in my 53 years, I don't recall the CFL doing a sustained and aggressive marketing plan to attract, entertain, and retain fans of a variety of demographics. In your opinion, what are 2 to 3 things the CFL could do today to make it a viable and stable league with the goal of continued growth and financial security into the future? Troy in Toronto, I don't know when I came onto your radar or how you found us, but I beat my head against the wall for 20 years trying to answer that question that you just asked me, and I gave up. I'm not sure the CFL believes they even need the help or believes that there's an issue, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, they don't want my help. So I'm not going to waste 2 to 3 seconds thinking of what the CFL has to do for all those things that you say, a sustained and aggressive marketing plan. That's their job, not mine. And we got our hands full sustaining and aggressively marketing this program right now, which you're watching every day. So thanks for that. But I'm not stepping in that pool anymore. Regarding the scheduling, Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, what's up with a Sunday afternoon game in August, by the way? We got to get Moose on the line because I'm like, Can we stop questioning everything and just enjoy it? And if we had a camera on, hey, Moose, you've changed. Nice cabin, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
You figured that out, huh? You figured all the gear out.
Does it look better and sound better?
I thought it looked good before. But if we'd have had a camera on the debate between Chris Getzlaf and I about COVID and vaccinations, whoo, Nelly, it would have had a few million views. But Chris isn't as open as I am on things, so we'll let that slide. But the fact that we're playing the World Women's Hockey Championship in August in an empty rink tells me that we're not over COVID yet. So if Calgary and Winnipeg are playing a Sunday afternoon CFL game in August, who gives a rat's ass? Which, by the way, we don't want Sunday games in the fall. Now's the time to have them, right? Like you look at scheduling, you look at sports. I think everybody wants to think, Darren, that we're back to normal in life sports-wise. We're so far. You talked about it with the Titans in warm-up, how they're going through COVID protocols and being ravaged. Like, just enjoy the games. Where are you on these topics that have come up today?
Yeah, I know. No, I know. It's tough. I mean, you got to just enjoy it and understand we're not in normal circumstances. We're not even close to getting back to normal circumstances. I mean, you're going to have some Sunday games. You're going to have probably a Tuesday game if you need to get a game in on time. It's fine. You're going to have to show an extra piece of paper when you go to the facilities to watch a game. Like, that's just where we're at now, and we're not getting out of it anytime soon. And you talk about Getz. I mean, I wasn't there, obviously, to hear those conversations in the commercial break. But, if you guys are that far apart or if he feels one way, just imagine what the rest of the players feel. I talked about Tennessee. I mean, they said they were over 90% vaccinated, that team. But there's teams in the Canadian Football League that, aren't even close to that, especially not the 85% that the CFL put in. So, yeah, we're just getting started. I mean, we're 3 weeks into a season, entering week 4 tonight. I mean, this is just getting started, even though it's a shorter season. So,
yes, for sure. I'm sprinkling in comments as we go, as you know. Where's the viewer that says Ryan in Winnipeg says 3downnation.com now makes you pay to talk on their platform. LOL. Do we want to give people a remedial introduction to media in 2021, Darren? This is where we're going. The fact that we're providing a free service every day, and granted we are on national television, I think some people forget that when they're commenting on the streaming. This is the way it's gone. Not going, it's the way it's gone. I reasoned this to you. I think when we were driving around some of the 1,000 miles that we have, I said, as a kid, I used to pay for a subscription to the Hockey News, Sports Illustrated, the Cassette of the Month Club. Now it's the same thing. Those are all gone. We just have to make our choices where we want to pay to spend our money, correct? You take it from there. I mean, this is where we're at.
Bingo.
This is where we're at.
Yeah. It's exactly where we're at. I mean, you talked about your Columbia House, subscription that you had, Cassette of the Month, whatever. But that's where we're at. I mean, I would buy CDs, all my favorite ones. I'd spend $20 here, $25 there, $14.99 there. Now I spend, like $10 to $15 a month for my, streaming subscription for music. So over the course of a year, I pay about the same as I would have in music anyways. A lot of us still have cable. Clearly, we know that from the viewership of this show. But, people that are cutting the cord, you'd spend $95, $100, $80, $75 for your television subscription, depending on how many channels you decide to get. Well, there was a study that came out. If you subscribe to Amazon and Apple and Netflix and Crave and all the different television subscriptions, it's $95 a month. So, I mean, yeah, you're maybe look like you're consuming things differently, but you're still paying the money. You're still, consuming content, and you're not buying a newspaper, but you're paying for your athletic subscription, and you're now paying for commenting rights on 3 Down to join that conversation. And you know what? That's business. That's life. And, we can't expect to have everything in life for free. So here we are.
John in Edmonton says, subscription service coming to the Rod Pedersen Show. And I don't know. I think I like to talk sports, but people like to talk just as much about this show. And what people don't understand, when I started rodpedersen.com in 2006, I had so many people saying you should go to a pay service, paywall. I'm like, nope, never going to do it. Going to sell advertising. And now at 33 million all-time hits since, that's never going to be a thing, and I don't think it's ever going to be a thing here. We're not going to take the easy way out, correct? It seems to be working what we're doing. Yeah.
No, it does. I mean, the only thing that you would ever, not that you would ever pay for or ever ask people to pay for is value add. We're not going to take away what you've been getting for free, right? And what we've been able to provide, whether it's through television, through this show, through rodpedersen.com, we're not going to pull things back now that you're used to. We may add things, as we seem fit. I mean, but that's no different than us adding Rod Pedersen Shop and offering T-shirts for a fee, right? So that's where we'll move, and that's exactly where we want to be.
Moose, we have viewers asking if they can come visit your locale for the weekend. So you might want to hide your 411, turn your cell phone off if you can't be tracked, because I think you're going to have viewers pounding down your door over the weekend. Listen, are you going to, now that you've figured this gear all out, you want to stick around for one more segment?
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm settled.
Overtime is next. Any questions, NFL, CFL, whatever else related, fire them our way. You're watching the RP Show. It's a FlameTech Football Friday. We're on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full-Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It is overtime. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club and the best boneless dry ribs in the world. If we can get Moose back on my screen again. Moose, as you know, this show was your dream child, daytime sports talk, and a lot of things have come down. From 3downnation.com, the Ottawa Redblacks have announced their roster for tomorrow's home game against the BC Lions, and starting defensive backs Abdul Kana and Sherrod Baltimore have both been added to the 6-game injured list. So there's that. And currently at tsn.ca right now, David Naylor just put a tweet linking to his story at tsn.ca about how the Elks outbreak is affecting the CFL, plus the vaccination mandate for travel in Canada and how that's affecting the CFL. It's going to push everything back into the late fall. It's going to affect the playoff schedule. So we can just, again, you're the boss here. You're the owner. So please, because I just go out and try to throw touchdowns every day. You're the one running the show here. So I don't see it from that. Can you imagine being a tall forehead and a leader in the CFL right now? Can you imagine? Like, what are they going through right now?
I'm trying, and I'm trying to figure out how I would handle this. And, all you can do is respond to the information you have and take it, as you like to say, one day at a time. The travel restrictions, right? If we have teams that potentially aren't even 60% vax, let alone 85%, all those players who aren't vaccinated might not be able to get onto airplanes if we require a vaccine passport or proof of vaccination to fly in this country. If the charter flights that these teams take are not exempt, that's a real problem. Now, maybe they are exempt and the teams will be able to travel, because you can't be busing from BC to Montreal. They'd have to practice in every single town along the way because it's going to take them a week to get to where they're going and then back. So that's one issue. In terms of that, if that becomes something where you can't travel teams, and as much as we say, the Denver Broncos had to play without a quarterback in one of those weeks last season, and that the Elks aren't going to be granted any favors to get this game on the field, you can't be doing that week in and week out if you have Cody Fajardo or Bo Levi Mitchell or Charleston Hughes who can't play because they don't have their vaccination now. I'm not saying I don't know who does and who does not have vaccinations, but dealing with that, you might have to pause the season, and then you might have to figure out what's a fair amount of games to wipe out and what's going to be a contingency plan to resume the season in October or November and have a shortened season, or maybe you have to scrap it altogether. I don't even know how I would address this now. So I can only imagine what Randy and the league is going through on a daily basis, trying to figure out where is this going? What are we going to do if A, B, or C happens? All we can do is just know that they're going to get on the field this weekend and hope they can get on the field next weekend.
It is a FlameTech Football Friday, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Shout out to Denton and his staff at FlameTech, where they wear Rod Pedersen Show gear all the time. By the way, from our female viewers, Moose, of which, as you know, 38% of our viewers are of the female variety, Jennifer from the Four Seasons. Right. Jennifer from the Four Seasons says, have a fabulous weekend, everyone. I'll be enjoying the lake as well, even in the rain. From Mandy in Edmonton, I miss the lakes in Saskatchewan. They are fantastic. Pretty damn fantastic. From the 581, Brendan in the Reggie says, Mike Morreale for future CFL commish. There's a lot of people that like what Mike Morreale is doing. And by the way, got through the entire CEBL season without an outbreak, without a hitch, never missed a game. Did you watch the interview with Morreale, by the way?
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
He's great. I mean, the CEBL has done just wonderful things to be able to get those seasons. And, not only just getting seasons through without, any hiccups with COVID. They had the bubble last year out east. But to be able to do it in their second and third years of existence. I mean, these are crucial seasons because you had all the momentum from year one. You can't go away now. and just have all that momentum washed away. I think it's tremendous that they were able to get that done and start to build something here. So I know why everybody loves Mike, and how could you not?
Jeff, the Stamps fan, with a really good suggestion. He says the CFL should have done a McMahon bubble. Do you think, with the millions being lost now, that they're sitting back going, we should have done it? We should have bitten the bullet and done a bubble season. Even if it was 6 games rather than 14. It's easy for us to say, but do you think they're looking back and saying that now?
They probably, it's probably at least come up. Like they're probably, maybe we should have thought about it. But you know what? They might still be thinking about it. Now, I'm just throwing this completely out of left field. I mean, this is from no prior info, but, as we did before a few minutes ago, just putting on my hat as how I would handle this, I'd be considering it. That would be one of the options on the table, right? For the Ted Lasso reference, you don't bring an umbrella to a rainstorm, or to a brainstorm, I mean. So every idea should be on the table. And bubble now, if you can't travel, then, hey, however long it's going to take your teams to get to Calgary, we're going to finish this season. We're going to all do it here. We're going to make things happen. So they should be exploring it, probably. At least I would be, because if the chartered flights aren't exempt and from the vaccination requirement to fly in this country, then you would probably be in a position where you'd have to pause the season or come up with an alternative. And can you do 3 games now, pause for 6 weeks, do a few more games, and patchwork a Grey Cup together? I don't know, but you could bring everybody together and play a season in Calgary. Yeah, the fan thing would be interesting. Would you allow fans in? Wouldn't you? Would you do it under a bubble? Would you not? You'd have to protect the players from the fans. But hey, that's something that probably should be on the table.
From EGA on YouTube, the Saskatchewan Roughriders will be the Montreal Expos, robbed of a championship. I don't think we can say that. Moose, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for chiming in. Great job.
Have a great week.
See you Monday, everybody. I don't know. This is not an online therapy session whatsoever.